This is creamy chicken and mushroom pasta. It's going to set you up for the week, creating 5 meals, and it packs over 60 grams of protein per portion. This right here is everything we're going to need, and you can swap the cottage cheese for cream cheese if you prefer. Let's get cooking. First thing we'll do is get a pot of water onto our stovetop over a high heat, and this is for our pasta, and we're actually going to need some of that water anyway for our sauce, so it's important we get this on first. Now for the prep, we're going to need 250 grams or 8.8 ounces of mushrooms. You can use any variety of mushroom of your choice. For me, I'm using button or filled mushrooms, but you can use Swiss brown, which are also known as cremini, or even portobellos for that nice deep color. And you don't have to slice these either. You can quarter them or chop them up however you like. I often get asked a question about washing mushrooms. I don't recommend washing mushrooms because they absorb a lot of moisture and then they can become really rubbery. However, if they do have a little bit of dirt on them, you can either brush them off or just wipe them with a clean paper towel. It also might look like you've got a fair amount of mushrooms after all of this, but these cook down, all of that water comes out of them, and they actually cook down to quite a small amount. We then need 4 cloves of garlic. Run these along a microplane to create a paste. You can also roughly chop them or mince them up. That choice is all yours, and even slice them. I like to use mince because you get that really nice deep nutty flavor, and you're going to produce the best flavor out of it doing it this way. And just make sure you scrape all of that out of there so we have no waste. Now, while we have the grater out, we might as well grate our cheese, which is 80 grams or 2.8 ounces of Parmesan cheese. Just make sure you grate this on the microplane to get those nice fine pieces. You can do it on a box grater, but Parmesan cheese doesn't really melt when it's a lot larger. And I do recommend doing this before we do the garlic. That way you don't have to wash it. I just like to make things a little bit more difficult for myself. You can also reserve a little bit. That way we can use it as garnish at the end. An optional ingredient is some flat leaf parsley, roughly 5 grams. There isn't really a real weight, it's just going on at the end as a garnish. All we need to do is go through and roughly chop. Just make sure that there's no large leaves or stems. Also, don't go out of your way and buy a whole bunch just to use a small amount. Only use it if you have it. That way you can save for a little bit of money. All you're looking for is something that looks like that. Lastly, we're going to need 800 grams or 1.7 pounds of boneless and skinless chicken breast. All we need to do is butterfly this and then slice it into 2 even-sized fillets. With those, we'll go through and then slice into strips, roughly 3 strips. Rotate that and then dice into smaller pieces. I find cutting it a lot smaller, you're going to get a nice better crust, a little bit more browning on there as well. With the larger pieces, it can be a lot easier to overcrowd the pan, and then they just end up with no color and taste like rubber bullets. But of course, that is my opinion, and that's what makes cooking so much fun, because you can do what you like. With our water at a boil, generously seasoned with salt, doesn't need to be ocean water though. Drop in 500 grams or 1.1 pounds of any pasta of your choice. For me, I'm using Penne, and we want to cook this for about a minute less than the packet instructions and reserve about a cup of that pasta water when we drain it. Now for our sauce, we're going to need 200 grams or 7 ounces of high protein cottage cheese. I know some people don't like cottage cheese because it's lumpy, but this is a good way to get past that, what we're doing right now. You can also use cream cheese for this. So what we're going to do is just add that into a blender bowl or into a tall jar or container. Now what we're going to do is emulsify the cottage cheese with that reserved pasta water. The starch within is going to help stabilize it. If we were to add the cottage cheese or even cream cheese straight into a hot pan, it's going to split, going to become grainy and really watery. And it just isn't very nice. So we'll use about 100 milliliters or 100 grams of this. This is going to help stabilize it and slightly thin it down. If you have an immersion blender, use one of these and just mix it around until it's nice and smooth. You can do it in a regular blender. And if you don't have a blender at all, you can just smash it up with a fork. If you need it a little bit thinner, you can always add a little bit more of that pasta water, and we'll save some for the end product. Now we'll place a large pan over a high heat and get this nice and hot. When the pan's heated up, we can add in a bit of spray oil. You can use regular oil if you prefer, but this cuts the calories quite a bit. And then we can add in all of our diced chicken. Spread this around just so it's not sitting on top of one another. At this point, we'll season with salt and a little bit of cracked black pepper, about 20 cracks worth, and give that a quick mix just to allow that chicken to start its seasoning. At this point, let it cook for about 2 minutes, not mixing it around. That way it can build up a nice golden color on the surface. After a couple of minutes, add in 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of dried Italian herbs, and 1.5 teaspoons of smoked paprika. Mix that all through, allow all of those flavors to become friends, and we're going to cook this for another 2 to 3 minutes or until that chicken is perfectly cooked through. I got this question last time I added the spices in midway through cooking. The only reason I'm doing so is because the spices can burn quite easily. If we add them on at the beginning, they have more chance of burning that way and then becoming bitter. If we add it halfway through, you just got to get that nice toasted flavor and the flavor that you should get on those spices. So in total, we want to cook the chicken for about 4 to 5 minutes. When that's done, the chicken's nicely cooked through and it has a really nice golden color to it. We can remove this from the pan and place it into a bowl. We're going to need the pan again, so place it back over a medium-high heat. Now with all of that flavor still left in the pan, just add in about a tablespoon of olive oil. Add in all of the mushrooms. And add in a touch of salt, and this is going to help draw the moisture out of the mushrooms and cook them down, get that nice nutty flavor. Give this all a really good mix around, get that mushrooms, pick up all of the flavor that's left behind from the chicken. We're going to cook these for about 5 to 6 minutes, allowing that moisture to evaporate and for these to get nice and golden and a slight crisp on the surface. If at any stage your pan gets too hot, just slightly turn it down. And if there's anything stuck on the bottom of the pan, you can add a touch of water or stock just to lift it up, deglaze the pan. It's not going to change the calories at all. Now, after about 6 minutes, you're going to get a really nice color on those mushrooms. Most of the water is evaporated and you're starting to get that nice little Maillard reaction. What we're going to do is add in our garlic and just saute this for about 30 seconds just to get the pan nice and fragrant and aromatic. Next to go in is 120 grams or 4.2 ounces of washed baby spinach. I'm also going to add in a touch more salt here, and all we need to do is mix this around and allow the spinach to wilt. This only takes about a minute to a minute and a half. Just keep mixing it around and you'll notice how small the spinach actually goes. At this point, we can also decrease the heat of the pan to a low. And with the spinach wilted, what you're looking for is something that looks like this. Once you're happy with it, turn the pan off completely and we're going to add in our cottage cheese blend or even our cream cheese blend. You pour that all in there. Like I said, if the pan's too hot, it will just split straight away. Add in the Parmesan cheese, add in the cooked chicken, and add in all of our pasta. All we need to do now is just gently fold everything together and we can adjust the consistency with any pasta water. And you're more than welcome to add more cream cheese or cottage cheese to this, but it will change the macros and you will need to adjust accordingly. Once that's all mixed through, just adjust it with any remaining pasta water if you have some. And I will say this isn't a super creamy sauce. It's not swimming in sauce. It's just one of those lightly coated ones, but it is absolutely perfect. It's a beautiful consistency. The last thing to do is just go through and give it a taste and adjust accordingly with any salt or cracked black pepper. When all of that's finalized, just give it one last mix. And what you should have is something that looks like this. When you're ready, serve this up into bowls. This recipe will make 5 portions and you can weigh it out separately and divide it by 5, or you can just go by eye. Garnish with more Parmesan cheese and the amounts are completely up to you. Add the flat leaf parsley if you're using it. And of course, some cracked black pepper, 5 cracks worth. That then leaves us with 5 portions of this high protein, creamy chicken and mushroom pasta. And this is the macros right here for an individual portion. Let them cool down for about 15 to 20 minutes. We can start placing on the lids. These will go in the fridge for up to 4 days and in the freezer for up to 4 months. As for reheating, allow them to defrost in the fridge overnight, and you can just do so in a microwave for about 3 minutes, mixing it around regularly. And I do recommend adding a splash of milk, a little bit of stock or water just to rehydrate, and you can do it in a pan as well. There's only one thing left to do, and that is we can then dig in. It's simple, quick, and delicious, as well as it being packed with protein. What's not to love?